What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Chewing the Rag. A couple things before we get started. We don't have to do that anymore. Never mind. Look at me, dude. I pre-recorded that. I'll keep that in. You can just hear how my brain works. I was talking to people about this earlier, actually, because I was just trying to see. I asked, I think a handful of people that I know listen to the pod, and I was like, do you think I should come in with scripted things? Do you enjoy the rant, the ramble? Because I really don't care to be a pod that's super, structure. I kind of like rant and rambling. I listen to pods mostly when I'm driving, um, working, stuff in the background. So for me, I don't want to be like, shit, I missed what you said. It's not really that important to me. Listen to Taste Buds, which is they're arguing about food and shit. I'm not gonna be like, oh fuck, what did you say about spaghetti? I missed it. I don't care about that. I really don't listen to Rogan too much because it just I listen to it if people are on that I like. It's just annoying. It gets old hearing well, did you know that it's actually woke people? It's you don't know what woke is. Such a beat down argument, and you're still talking about COVID, and I say that, and then literally, there's a news article right here that says new strain of COVID. So whatever. But just you're constantly beating on these dead horses, and it's dude, can we talk about something else? You have a comedian on. He promote his special, talk about your anxiety, whatever the fuck, not yours, but his anxiety, whatever it is. I don't need to hear this fucking thing just being beaten to people's head. But even he has things where sometimes they'll say something, or if he's talking to somebody interesting and they're not talking about that boring shit, you're like, oh shit, I kind of missed what they're even talking about, because they already made their point and you're just kind of hearing the tail end, and then I have to go back and listen. I don't always like that. So I just asked, and I was like, what do you guys think? Do you think just keep it off the cuff? Do you think you want this? And I'm well, me personally, one person was like, I actually like the rant, the ramble, because it just sounds it doesn't sound like a robotic. I might be an outlier in this, but it sounds like I'm actually listening to a human. I'm like, okay, cool, I get that. Another person was like, I don't think you're you if you do the other way. So I was like, I don't know if that's an insult. I don't know if you're saying I have ADHD or whatever, but that makes sense too. And then another person was like, well, what if you tried bullet points of things you want to hit and then just rant on it? Don't go in with a premeditated thing necessarily, but say you want to talk about this Kendrick and Drake shit, which I will, fuck it. Say you want to talk about that, talk about this, that, the third. Then you just kind of get flow into each thing. And I was like, that's probably the smartest way to do it, for sure. I hope this isn't echoey. This empty room thing is killing me. I feel like it's super echoey. And if this doesn't sound good, well, you'll know because I'll say I'm skipping this week. If I'm listening back and it sounds fine, then we're good. But yeah, no, I'm just trying different things and literally opening up this video, or this pod rather, opening up this pod and being like, what's up, everybody, before we get started? That's the old you. You don't got to do that no more. You grew past that. Literally old pods, that's how I'd open up. I'd just be doing the website and all that jazz that's going to happen in the middle of this episode or towards the end of this episode. So just my brain was like, that's what you got to do. And I think it's probably because today at work, so from pretty much every day at work is going to be me in the warehouse reading out loud these numbers so that the person working with me can write them down. I mean, it's a full warehouse. It sheds different products, different things. It's probably over 1,000 pieces, easily over 1,000 pieces of just product and stuff that we have. And I'm reading them out loud. He's handwriting them. Then we put it into the computer because we're switching over from one system to another. So it's been C39, BG 900, SW 1355, SP 1355, and it's not in alphabetical order, so you have to flip through the pages and find it because it's just by or it is in alphabetical order, sorry, but the racks aren't. So you can have a thing that starts with a C here, the next letter's F, and then after that it's back to B, and it's son of a bitch. So the person writing's flipping from C to F to B and doing it. So just all day been reading numbers, and if they're or he'll be reading numbers and I write it, so we kind of switch it up so it's not just redundant. And I think my brain's just in that program mode right now, because it's so tedious, it's so intricate. If you fuck up, you got to start all over. So my brain immediately was like, all right, we're recording. He did the what's up, guys, and start talking about merch. And it's like, no, damn it, we don't got to do that right now. If you do want merch, feel free to go to chewinthерag.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt. Mother's Day is coming up. We got shirts that mom might like. I don't know. If you're me, your wife might like. I don't. R.I.P. Mom. I actually, so they did Taste Buds and my mom. They did a battle, and it was mom versus grandmom. And first of all, Sal was like, "How the hell do we even do this? People are just gonna make it about them personally." He's like, "I don't know. It's just fun. It's for Mother's Day." And I commented on it. So while they're recording, they read like they have the poll up, mom versus grandma. They have the poll up that you vote on. Then they have comments that people leave, and they'll sometimes read people's comments. And I'm always trying to get mine read, just because like I like making people laugh. So if you can make a comedian laugh, it just makes it feel better, to be honest. So I finally had one get read by them, and it was yesterday's episode, which was Monday. And naturally, that was my mother's birthday. She would have been 50. If you know the pod, you know she passed away. If you don't know the pod, my mother passed away. So naturally, they were reading Monday's episodes, comments or whatever. And at the time, I commented, my grandmother swore like a sailor and beat us like grown men. And then I said, so I'm going with grandma. My mom was a pushover. And then I said, R.I.P. Mom. It was just like a throwaway joke. And that's the one they read yesterday on my mom's 50th birthday, which is just a little ironic, was all my point was with that. But yeah, grab a shirt or something. I don't know. We have pink shirts. I have a pink sweatshirt that you can grab. It's fucking, I'm sweating. I'm in this dingy, like, white work shirt because I was just hot. I didn't want to wear anything worthwhile. You guys don't care what the hell I look like. You guys don't even care what the hell I sound like. You wouldn't listen to this if you did, because I have a terrible voice. I'm well aware of that. What else? I was say something. Oh, we had T-ball. It was interesting. I saw a glimpse of myself during that. I meant to bring it up to my wife. I didn't even think about this. But like my son, he must have just been tired. So it was like 8:30 in the morning. We had to be at the field. They wanted to do like the T-ball pitches and stuff that they do, whatever. But then he had a game right after. And the kid woke up at like 6. And I'm like, of course you woke up at 6. Why wouldn't you? So he was tired. And they did like an extra inning or whatever. I don't know. They do like usually 2 at bats, 2 in the field. They did 3 at bats, 3 in the field. And like I could see him getting gassed. And he was like talking to us along the fence. He's like, I don't want it anymore. And he's like taking his glove and throwing it down. I could just see like he's just over it. And I was like, buddy, come on. And I was always like that. Like, I did karate as a kid. And on the way in, I wanted something I didn't get. My mom's like, you had to do it after. And like, throwing my kicks. I'm just throwing like these really like, lame ass kicks. Like, just not caring. You know what I mean? So I saw that in him, and I was happy though because he kind of turned it around. When his coach called his name, he like snapped back and like went and did his thing. He's laughing with his coach, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. He like, that's the switch I need him to have, because as a kid, I didn't always have that. Like the moment I didn't want to do something as a kid, I tapped. I was like, I'm good. I don't do this anymore. I'm good. I tried it. That's enough. Like I don't want him to be that kid that tries it, doesn't like it, and immediately is like, I made up my mind. We're good. No, you got to really finish this out. We're telling them, we're like, buddy, you're on a team. You can't just ditch your team, which is also different. Like karate, it's an individual thing. I'm not quitting on a team. You have your team or whatever, but also karate's it's shit. I think I've talked about that on here before. I'm completely, if my wife was like, well, should we get him in karate? No, we should. I'm not paying for a belt. You want to get him in something? We'll get him in jiu-jitsu. We'll get him in like a kids MMA class, kids, whatever else. We're absolutely not doing karate. Karate is good for teaching. It's an introduction to discipline, just kind of showing up, doing what your instructor says, blah, blah, blah. But you can do that with other things, and you're not just paying for a belt. Karate, how many kids my son's a black belt in this? No, he's not. Why? Why is your son a black belt? Because you paid for it for 3 years? No, absolutely not. And, you just don't know the karate rankings. I don't give a fuck. Most of these schools, anybody will tell you, most of these schools are just robbing you. Absolutely are, 100%. And I'm not parents that put their kids in karate. I'm not shitting on kids that like karate. I'm shitting at gyms that are just making a shit ton of money off of you wanting to get your son or daughter, whatever it might be, involved in sports, and they're just like, well, we got paid this month, so let's tie this belt around them. They're not making your kids earn it. That's all I'm saying. And sure, maybe your kid does show up. Maybe they do work hard. Maybe you do think they earned it, but it's just not. You in karate, look it up. You're paying for a belt almost every time. Whereas like jujitsu, for the most part, obviously there's still sketchy gyms out there, but it's so popular now that for the most part, if you bring your son, daughter to a jujitsu school, one, they're actually learning like real self-defense. Let's be like, karate is not real self-defense. Yes, you see fighters and whatnot get in a karate stance and whatnot, but they're not just karate guys. They will fuck you up with other things. Karate as a self-defense is not great. Jiu-jitsu as a self-defense, great. If somebody takes you down, you're on your back, you're not panicking. You're looking for like how your brain's just defense, offense. Like that's it. It's not just cower. You're not thinking tuck and this guy fucking pound on me. So that's another big part of it is I want like true what can be utilized in real life self-defense. So what the fuck brought all this up? Karate. That's what brought it up. But yeah, I'm just saying I saw that little bit of like I don't want to do this anymore in him. And I was happy to see that he was able to flip that switch. And I think that's a testament to me and my wife. Not that my mom or dad were like happy that we'd quit things. I mean, they were pissed when I forgot my pads and couldn't play in a football game. Like, I'm not saying that, but I just think that the constant, like, all right, buddy, let's go outside and practice. And we don't, we're not one of those fucking couples that were like, you got to go do this, buddy. Give me 10 throws or 10 swings of the bat, and this, that, and the third. But just like being patient and letting him know, like, buddy, it's not okay. You can't quit, blah, blah, blah. Like constantly feeding that into his head, I think is going to pay off in the long run. And even like the tough parenting as far as coaching goes, I don't think that's necessarily a bad route either. I'll never be that, but I don't really, unless you're like harming the kid, the fucking kid can't run anymore, his leg's dead and you're still making him run. That's different. But real life, like the real world shit, if you are going to try to pursue sports throughout school, like you do need to just grind that out and people are going to treat you like shit. So it is, you do toughen them up. I put that in quotes because there's ways to do it that aren't harmful. And I think, oh, fuck. There was something I was just talking about with me and my wife, my son, 10. Oh, so we were trying to, I've talked about this before. Kids playing T-ball is the most fucking stressful thing because they're just diving at each other's legs. Like my fucking ACL was falling off the bone just watching my son go for a ball because a little girl might already have it in her hands. And he's coming in like, it's not like close. It's like 2 seconds after he's coming in and like just kind of falling in front of her. And it's like hitting her legs. I'm like, buddy, you're going to fucking blow somebody's knee out. So we're trying to tell him like, not every ball is meant for you. I know that you want every ball to be meant for you. And that's good that you have like that hustle to you, but it's not. So I was like, all right, listen. And he's like, at me, and I'm like, if you can just field, like, because it was their last, they were fielding their last fucking possession, whatever. And I'm like, if you can just field these next few balls the right way, don't dive, look to see if somebody has it, blah, 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 I'll get you a surprise. And like, sure enough, he fields 2 on his own. He's throwing to first base, no diving. His teammate fields 1, and he's not diving late. And it's like, that's it. That's all you have to do. And he got a fucking slush puppy or whatever the fuck slushy. I don't know what the Slurpee. And he got that shit at the end. I'm like, that's it. Now I'm not going to constantly do that, but you have the award there. You know what you did right, and you got something. You keep doing the right thing, good things will happen to you. That's the whole premise there. So, but it was good to watch him actually go out in that last thing and listen to me, his mom, his coach, and we're all like, stop diving. It's not just him at all. All the kids are fighting for the ball too. It's just the way he does it is he's going in late and hitting the legs. I'm like, if he fucking hurts somebody like that, it's just not a good look for us or them or anybody. So it was nice to see him not only hit this, flip that switch and go listen to his coach and whatnot when he was exhausted and he didn't want to do it anymore. He wasn't dragging feet. He wasn't saying, no, I'm not going to go bat, have somebody else go. He just went and did it. And then it was nice to see him play the game the right way. And it's only his 3rd time playing T-ball, so I'm not expecting him to go out there and be fucking amazing. I just want him to go out there and understand that these guys are trying to learn too. These guys are trying to play too. All you guys are just kids. You gotta let other people get involved and learn how to play and be a good teammate. And he did. So I was happy about that. But there was something I meant to bring up. I just thought of it today when I was talking. But like that was something I wanted to bring up. Like I just saw that little bit. I've always been that same way, dude, where it's just like I'm fucking tired. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I didn't grow out of that until I was older. And it was like, you're what are you gonna go play flag now? You're a little too late for that. Yeah, I'll fuck you up in some flag, but that was stuff you had to address younger, and I just didn't. But there's a lot of things I can't picture that kid doing that I did. A lot of things. He's obsessed with trains. I was fucking jumping off trains as a kid to get from trailer park to trailer park. I tried my first cigarette. Oh, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I tried all that. Probably no exaggeration. This isn't a brag. It's gross, but I was under 10 for sure, 100%. So, and this isn't shit. I didn't even talk like to my family about this shit. But my mother's brother, he went to prison when I was 10, and before that, I was constantly at my grandmother's house, and that's where he lived, and he was like my babysitter or whatever. I'm not gonna bring up what he went to prison for. Just know like dude's a dirtbag. But you know, most of my time was spent with him if I was at my grandmother's house, and I'm like 8. If he went to prison when I was 10, I had to be between 7 and 8, and the dude would just give me a cigarette, and I, it's my uncle. You don't think anything of it, and I'm picturing like my son will be 5 in October. I can't imagine 3, 4 years from now that kid puts a cigarette up to his mouth. They'll slap the shit out of him. You know what I mean? So for me to be like fed cigarettes as a kid, and the only reason it stopped was we were going up to the lake. I know that sounds like the opposite of how I talk, but we were going to the lake. We were just hanging out as a family. We weren't like a let's go to the lake and swim family. It was, I promise. But we went a trip to a lake one day, and we had a pickup truck with the hard cover on the back. And it was me, my cousin. This was on my dad's side, my cousin, and my mom's brother were in the pickup truck part of it. And what's up, guys? We are going to take a quick break from this episode of Chewing the Rag to talk to you about Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a jitter-free clean energy company. They carry shakers, they carry energy powder, they carry rehydration drinks, gym bags. That hat back there is actually from Dubby. I got a keyboard, like a mouse pad right here from Dubby. Great company, great quality. I'm somebody that, midday I want to grab an energy drink while I'm driving around. Before work, have my coffee. After work, before recording, for example, let's caffeinate somehow. Dubby negates that. I swear, I have one shaker of Dubby a day is all I need to keep going. And right now they're offering 20% off. That's 10% off more than what they used to. 20% off if you go to dubby.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. That's dubby.gg and use promo code CHEWIN at checkout. While you are out there browsing the web, taking a look around, be sure to go to chewintherag.com. We have new merch up, t-shirts, tank tops, hats. We got a bunch of like warm weather stuff out there. We've got a whole new different line of stuff from what we used to have. And also on that website, you can find the Discord. You can find all the social medias, where you can find Chewing the Rag, the email to ask questions. The Discord right now is a lot of fun. We're constantly in there just playing games. We've got the Ask the Pod tab where you can ask questions, interact with everybody. We're trying to get that going. So chewintherag.com for merch, social medias, and everything else regarding Chewing the Rag. If you are enjoying the pod show, please be sure to like, rate, subscribe, and share on whatever platform you are listening on. Kind of helps just pick up the pace for us, the algorithm, all that fun, boring stuff that nobody wants to hear about. So if you're enjoying it, please be sure to do that. And thank you again for listening to Chewing the Rag. My mom's brother was like, "Oh, you want to see something?" Talking to my cousin. He goes, "Yeah." And he held a backpack up to cover, the window part where my parents could see from the rear view into the back. And he pulled out a cigarette and he goes, "Oh, here, Chris." And I took a hit of the cigarette and he goes, "You smoke cigarettes?" I'm like, "Only sometimes." And when we got to the lake, the first thing my cousin did was snitch to my parents. Like, "Oh, Chris took a puff of a cigarette." My dad's like, "What?" And blah, blah, blah. So that was the whole thing. I don't even know if he remembers that story. But obviously I lied. I was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. He goes, I'll fuck you up. And I was like, oh. And then didn't smoke a cigarette again until I was about 15, 16 years old. Sorry, Pops. I think they knew. I think my mom knew that I kind of, she caught me a couple times doing things she didn't like. But yeah, at 16, I'd be skateboarding and smoke a cigarette from like my buddy's house. I'd skate home. I'd steal one from his brother. But I wasn't like chain smoking, but I definitely did. Um, you know, at that point, I expect my son to try things. I'm going to do my best to keep him from trying anything. But like teenage years is going to be tough. But I'll definitely, you don't want to be like that microscope or fucking helicopter parent, I guess they call it. But I just know from my own experiences, the shit that I did as a teenager, that I don't need him doing at all. So keep him busy with sports. Let him know, like, don't be hiding shit from me. If you try something, you let me or your mom know. Just because the moment you're like, don't fucking. My goal is to not even bring shit up. If I see a cigarette and he asks what it is, like, oh, it's for adults. I don't even tell him what it is. Because you don't want to be like, don't ever touch that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever, because the more you hear don't ever as a kid, you're like, I'm fucking touching that. Don't ever smoke cigarettes. Never. That's bad, bad, bad. And then I see you smoking cigarettes. Like, well, I'm fucking, it's not that bad. You're doing it, motherfucker. So, yeah. But that was always me. My brother, Billy specifically, not Todd. Billy would hang out with us, and I remember one day we found like a case of beer, and it was warm. It wasn't good tasting beer, but it was beer, and we're drinking them. And my brother Billy takes a sip, and he starts fucking puking. That's disgusting. How does anybody drink this? Or like he tried it. We were walking, and he tried a cigarette, and he puked. And just like, immediately was like, nope, I can't fucking do it. How do you guys do it? Completely opposite of me. Now I was never hard drugs. I was never like, but I was stupid. That's how I was. I would do dumb shit. I posted a picture on Twitter recently where it's like, now in my 30s, I don't like heights. I don't even like fucking climbing ladders. Like, I don't like doing any of that shit. And then I'm like, but I jumped off the corner of this building right here and I circled the picture. I'll put it up if you're on YouTube or Spotify. All this is on video now. I don't know why I say YouTube, but if you're actually watching and not just listening, you'll see fucking the building I used to jump off as a kid. So what happened was, school I'm not going to say the name of, that's probably listed in this picture, so whatever, they had those big mats you would use for pole vaulting, and you really didn't feel the ground at all. If you hit those things, they're so fucking nice. And we had climbed the back of the building, and there was a small roof, probably somewhere between like first and second story, 1.5 story, I guess it would be called. I don't fucking know. And you could get on that roof and you get a running start, and you would jump over a shed and some bushes and a fence, and you could clear that and jump onto the pole vault pad thing. You felt kind of cool doing it because you were just fucking, you would climb up and run and sprint, and you're looking down, you're jumping over the small building and fence and bush and everything, and then you land right on this pad and you're like, hell yeah. And a kid younger than us was like, oh, did you guys know you can actually get on the big part of this roof? And we're looking, and it's kind of just like modular. You can very easily get on the highest point of this roof. And we're like, no shit. And then we look at where the pad, because we dragged the pad from the football field to behind this building. And then we look at the path there. It's very easy. You just all grab the pad, and now you can pull it to the side of the building where there's a little bit less room for error. But as long as you land on the pad, you're not going to feel it. So like 4 of us climbed up, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, well, we're up here. So we just jumped off the fucking building, and we all landed on it. Cops came. Eventually, I think the neighbors called the cops, and 3 of us, they were just like, hey, just go home, get out of here, don't do it again, whatever. And then the one kid that actually told us about the roof, he's like, he knew the kid's parents, the kid's a troublemaker, and he's like, you get in the fucking car, we're going. But like nowadays, dude, you ask me to get on that fucking roof and jump off, I'm like, no, you fucking jump off that roof. I'm not jumping off that bitch. And that's like just those little fucking things that I know that I did. I used to break into abandoned buildings. My mom would have to come down to the station all the time. My big thing was just like, and I wasn't causing trouble or anything, but I loved hanging out in abandoned buildings and just like discovering shit and finding shit. And there was a building right in Cohoes that I think it was a church, or I don't know what it was, but you can crawl in this hole right into the library, and you would just have this whole fucking, it was like a old historical building all to yourself. And that's where I got in a lot of trouble, just because cops knew kids were breaking into it and hanging out. Some kids were doing like shitty things in there. I was literally just like exploring and looking around. I did that all the time in abandoned buildings. I actually talked about the abandoned Freihofers building. I told that story out here. If you're not familiar, essentially, me and my cousins broke into it, and my dumbass cousin spray painted or wrote the marker like his full name and then wrote "was here." So dumbass got us all in trouble right away. But what the hell was I gonna say? One day it goes. I remember we thought a building was abandoned, and it was right near a restaurant on Remsen, and in the back of it is like houses, and we swore it was abandoned. And I climb up, we go on the ledge. We're like looking around. We're like, they kept this in like decent, decent shape. Like dishes were out and shit. And then somebody comes by, like, what are you doing? It was somebody we knew. It was a kid our age. It was, what the hell are you guys doing at this person's house? We're like, no, we're like, we're just doing, just looking around abandoned buildings. This isn't an abandoned building. This is somebody's apartment. We're fucking looking, and we're like, that makes a lot of fucking sense. And my buddy puts down everything that he was looking at. We just got the fuck out of there. I was like, oh my fucking God. So I took a break from abandoned buildings after that because the inner city part of Cohoes was so shitty that you can't fucking tell which, abandoned or not. So I was like, yeah, that's enough of that for a little bit. And then we got back into it a few months after. And then even when we were tagging and like spray painting shit, I mostly didn't do abandoned buildings. I do like new developments, like buildings or companies, not people's houses, but like new company developments or old blockbusters. So that was abandoned. In Troy, you just spray paint garages. Nobody cared. I mean, they probably did, but you're in an alleyway. Everybody's garage is tagged anyway. There was like a whole abandoned like complex. I don't know if it used to be like a movie theater or what, but like an outdoor theater. Fuck, let me see if I could call Jake because I'm actually interested in what was that? Let me see. But it was like a whole thing. I'll call him on Facebook. He's gonna think it's Theo calling. Don't fucking ignore me. You know what? He's gonna say I'm at the gym. You're fucking lying. You're in pajamas watching YouTube. What was the abandoned place that we would go spray paint at off of Route 9? Do you remember? It's gonna be some fucking fever dream that we've never been at. But anyway, we would I'll wait for him to reply to that. So we would go to that. We ended up in a guy's like field up where I live now. Actually, there was like a big field, and he had like big barrels of something. I don't really know. We'd spray paint those on them. Didn't really spray paint schools or anything like federal because I'm not an idiot. But yeah, never really cared to spray paint inside places. There was an abandoned hospital we'd go in. That whole building was fucking just flooded with spray paint. But if I was going to an abandoned ghost town, quote unquote, or a abandoned building, I never really cared to spray paint inside of those. I wanted to spray paint establishments. I don't know if that's better, but that was the goal always, was to just tag establishments. I didn't spray paint trains. I also wasn't very good. That was the other part. We were good at stenciling and then just slapping a stencil on and doing it, me personally. But I wasn't good at freehanding shit. So it was very sloppy. It was also I like spraying the most random stupid messages that take fucking 10 years. Like, dude, you have to stencil because you're gonna be here for fucking 45 minutes. And the moment I like started getting good was when I stopped because we realized we needed to stop and grow up. What else? Oh, I said I would address this fucking Kendrick and Drake thing. I don't care. This is a pillow fight. It's not a real beef. I swear, one of them has to shoot each other. And this is bad timing because Drake's security guard was literally shot. But I think that's coincidence. I think it's too friendly. J. Cole came out and apologized and ended his fucking beef right off rip. And I think this is just Joyner and Tory. Now I'll listen to it because I'm a Kendrick fan and a Drake hater. But isn't that how everybody is? They're like, oh, I don't like this guy more than this guy, so my guy's winning no matter what. No, he's not. Shut up. Drake's singing over. You can't sing to me in a beef. What are we doing? And then Kendrick comes out and he makes like a fucking club song just to be a fucking troll. And it's like, I feel like they're going to announce it's Joyner and Tory. Remember that fucking thing? Very short lived. They went like beef back to back to back and then announced a tour. Like I feel like this is too friendly. It's too safe. You had a guy rapping from fucking supposedly LA, even though there was rumors about New York now, and then the other guys in fucking Canada. It's like, what are we doing? Way too safe. There's no, oh, I'm gonna get you touched. I'm gonna get you touched. I'm gonna touch you. They're not gonna do anything. They're not. It's like nauseating. It's annoying. It's old. It's boring to talk about. It's played out. That's all anybody's talking about. It's like one of the bigger current events going on right now. And I'm a huge Kendrick fan. I love Kendrick. And anything that gets him rapping, because if you are a Kendrick fan, you know that motherfucker drops like once every 4 years. Anything that gets you new Kendrick songs, I'm in. But like, if it means I need to see more of Drake and see more like Drake headlines and listen to Drake to see like how's he responding to Kendrick, I'm out. I don't give a fuck. I don't like Drake. I think he's boring. I think he's bad for rap. I think he's in circles he doesn't belong in. He's not a good rapper. He's a singer. He's an actor. Like, that's what he is. He's not a rapper. I'll never put him on this like rap pedestal. I think like when people say he's one of the best rappers alive based on numbers, well, he's not rapping. You know, I used to say that based on numbers and success because he is unfortunately listed in like the rap category. So if you look at like greatest rap streams, that's where that comes from. But like overall, I don't put him in top actual rappers. No, 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 no. You're a singer. That's, I don't, you're getting bodied by a singing. Shut the fuck up. Keep singing. Like, keep making me dance, waving my hands. That's what Kendrick said. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's how everybody views you. You are a singer. You're not, most people who like appreciate real rap, like real hip hop, and I hate when people say that, but I'm not talking about like old school hip hop compared to like mumble rap. I don't like when people do that. But I just mean like rap at its core and what rap is. Don't think Drake's this great rapper. Most people just don't. And that's whatever. It's fine. But that's just what it is. Another white guy with glasses is giving a hip hop opinion. I don't give a fuck. See that right there? That's an old dirty bastard painting. I'll give my fucking hip hop opinion. We got let's see. Who is this? The owners or founders of TikTok are potentially widely expected lawsuit filed on Tuesday, protected legal fight over TikTok's future in the United States, and could end up before the Supreme Court. If TikTok loses, it says it will be forced to shut down in the next year. I don't agree that it should be shut down. You know, I might be no, I'm definitely not in the minority. That fucking app is huge. But like people of my age, you know, the 30 plus guys who are like, yeah, we should ban TikTok. They're trying to do the dang. Shut up. Monitor your kids. Like the algorithm is based on what your kids watch. Usually my algorithm is like people playing Madden, people just like being funny. Like I don't have this weird algorithm where like people are like, did you see that women can show tits on TikTok as long as they're breastfeeding and they're using a plastic baby so that they can show their tits on TikTok? And it's like, how do you know that? What are you watching? Are you looking up breastfeeding videos on TikTok, you fucking sicko? Like that's a testament to you, buddy, because I don't see that. I'll go TikTok right now. Let me pull up my TikTok. And the reason I have one isn't even a scroll. I have it for me. Like I Chew the Rag Pod on TikTok. I think that's my name. I don't remember. That's my name. Don't wear it out. But like I post clips of me or like clips of sparring or comedy, just random clips of my shit. That's why I use it. Chewing the Rag Podcast. If you want to check it out, let me go home. Very first thing, NFL player versus a guy powerlifting. Okay. Second thing, what's this guy's name? Yes, I think it's appropriate for TikTok. It's Playful on TikTok. He plays the show. What's this one? Trolling people in GTA. Fixing men's insecurities. Don't worry about that one. I think that was an ad. But no, I do. I like follow like or don't follow, but like I see like fitness stuff and stuff. That's why that would come up. That makes sense. How to get vascular forearms, just like that. Apex stream. I play Apex. Roast of Tom Brady. Like this is all. I'm reading the shit as I'm scrolling. I just skipped one. What is this? Access control on apartments. Boring shit. TikTok shop. Somebody. Good griefs. That kid's hilarious. Streamer. Ad. Aaron's guide service. Fishing. Trick request. Oh hell yeah! He's playing Session with his son. That's good shit. I play Session with my son, and he's using Michelangelo. There you go, dude. It's not anything crazy. If your TikTok's crazy, that's because of you. You guys are crazy. And I understand, like, sometimes my cousin will send me shit that, like, it's not like the breastfeeding thing, but just like he'll send me a video that he finds funny, and then that guy pulls up in my stream. So I understand if like you click on something or something sends to you, but like, what are they sending to you? What are you, and why are you watching it? If they tell you what it is and you click on it, that means you were interested enough to do that. Jake's not going to answer that text before this episode ends. That's fine. But that's my point. Like, people are like, oh, we need to get rid of it. It's not. Just monitor your shit. Monitor what you're doing. Monitor what your kids are doing. Now, kids are going to be kids, but how old is your kid that you're worried about what they're seeing? That should they even have a phone? Should they even have fucking social media apps if they do have a phone? Are you letting the phone or the tablet or whatever the fuck babysit your kid? My son gets screen time, but like, it's called screen time for a reason, because it's a little bit of time. He gets a little bit before bed. Mostly watches, like, my son's weird. He watches fucking train videos and shit. He's not like other kids. He doesn't fucking care about your Roblox. That dude's watching somebody build a fucking model train, and that's not because I've trained him that. He just always been obsessed with them. He's into his own shit, but like, I know exactly what he's watching. If it sounds like it's something that's a little weird, and it's usually not, it just sounds because it sounds like an adult is talking. I'll listen in. I'll be like, "What are you watching, buddy?" "Oh, this guy's building this Thomas track." And then you look, and it's a guy talking about what he's building, and then his son's in the video with him, and it's literally just a father and son building a track. Good enough for me, dude. Fuck it. Like that. Just pay the fuck attention. Don't let these things babysit your kids. And then for the most part, they're not gonna fucking stumble upon anything. Obviously, you can't always control that. The internet's fucked up. There's that shit that comes up, and I don't know how much of it's true. I never really look into it, but like the shit that comes up with YouTube kids being hacked, and like people my age doing like kill your parents, and it's like, what the fuck did you just say? But like, usually I feel like that's not common, and I think it's more patrolled now or policed. I don't know, but I don't think it's as common as it was when YouTube was like just getting into the YouTube kids part of things, or the YouTube thing. But either way, like, just don't let it parent your kids. If they happen to find something accidentally, you can't always fucking stop it. I don't know. But suing, or not suing, but like banning a whole app because of whatever. And I think it's more political than anything, to be completely honest. I don't necessarily think it's because of the reasons that I'm saying. But the reasons I'm saying is why a lot of people my age and older agree with banning it. Now, I don't give a fuck one way or another if it's banned. My life's not going to end. I'll post my clips to YouTube Shorts like I do now anyway. Post my clips to Reels like I do now anyway. TikTok's just a part of where I post my clips. I have my episodes. When I'm done editing my episodes, I'll listen back to my episodes, and I find whatever clip interests me. I do all this shit myself, and I post that clip on all these social media apps. TikTok happens to be one of them, but it's not the end of the world if it's not there. Do I like TikTok? Yeah, I think it's fine. I met a lot of like cool streamers. Oh, here we go. Hola, Papito. Not you. Where's the man of the house? Never mind. I'm talking to him. What's up, Carlos? I'm recording, so he's not over here. I was actually looking for Jake for once.
What's his name again?
Bubble Bass, dude. How about you rap battle me? Thousands of people are watching right now. It's live. He's got that drip. It's all over his hand. He's eating his palms, dude. What are you doing? Double entendre. Carlos, more like car lost. Oh, look it. There's Jake. It's a trash can. Anyway, what's that name of the are you wearing a button-up shirt? I'm wearing a nice but so I'm gonna bring up illegal activity, so don't let Carlos here. Do you remember when we were doing crack? Do you remember when allegedly we were spray painting, right? Yeah. But allegedly we were spray painting, and allegedly we would go off Route 9. What was that? Was that like an abandoned? Do you remember? There was like this abandoned like thing, and you could. What was that? Yeah. I couldn't think of what it was. Yeah.
It's Columbia Street Extension. That building's been demolished for years.
Yeah, I remember.
It's pretty funny. So-and-so actually, four-letter actually spray painted that, and she had a profile picture. It was right next to that ink.
Allegedly. Yeah.
It's been torn down, dude. It's an office building now.
Yeah, I know. That's what was pissing me off, because I couldn't remember where it was or what it was, but I was like, is that a fucking fever dream? No, it's definitely happened.
Please don't tell Theo that next time when I'm coming over, I'm gonna bring this.
I don't even know what it is. He's probably allergic to it, dude. It's bubble gum. He can't have that.
It could be sunlight is probably allergic to it, man.
Well, yeah, that's a pale skin. Hola. What? But yeah, it was like an amphitheater. Don't know that, but it was like a movie. I remember the word theater. I couldn't remember what the hell it was, and it was pissing me off. Amphitheater. That's what it was. No, I know the word. All right, Carlos. I'll see you at jiu-jitsu later, and I'm gonna submit you, dude. You're a white belt and being a nerd. I'm a big white poop, dude. I'm the big white great hope. Great white great hope. Never mind. Yeah. Yeah, well, you dress funny. I know. All right, we don't need to give out addresses. Jesus, dude. This guy's a cop. All right. What did I say? I think I said like drive-in theater. It was an amphitheater. Yeah, it was really cool. And we spray painted that allegedly. Not me, allegedly. This dude gave out the address. Yeah, it was 35 North. Dude, shut up. I just need to know what it was. It's just a Fed. That's the part of his brain that wants to be a know-it-all. You know, when he heard that I couldn't remember the name of something that he remembered, that's the part of his brain where he's like, yeah, no, it was definitely this at this place and this address. And I like that he said 4-letter word because we allege. We don't do definites over here. I allegedly jumped off buildings, allegedly smoked cigarettes, allegedly spray painted an amphitheater. Definitely did all those things. But 4-letter word was actually on. I think me and him talked about it. It was Seto. It was Mark. We talked about our adventures and spray painting. We didn't get deep into it, but we talked about it. So it's funny that he said 4-letter word. Seto, listen to his episode. We talk about it. We talk about me and him actually reconnected, just like me and Jake reconnected. Just once you get older, you start putting egos aside and all that boring shit. That episode was pretty good. There was also, if you watch that episode and then go to this one, dude, the jump and like, you can tell I just give a little bit more of a shit now. Or not, that's not true. I always gave a shit, but just figuring it out, which is why, like, I don't know, how many episodes are we into this fucking thing? We got to be close to 100. We've been doing this for a year and we don't really miss too many. We've missed more than we'd like to, but yeah, we've been pretty consistent. And just still learning, like, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? Do you guys like this? Do you guys like that? Abraham hit me with a wiffle ball bat ring. But like just that little bit of figuring it out is what I'm referring to when I say like just still growing. So when you go back to like the old episodes, when you go back to Lenny's episode, when you go back to Mark's episode, my first solo episode, and then you go to this, you're like still working on it. That's just what it is. That's all this whole thing is. But even the name, chewing the rag, it's chewing the fat, it's bullshitting, it's talking, it's nonsense. That's at its core, that's always what it'll be. And I don't know. It sounds like I'm giving up. That's always what it was, and it's all it'll ever be. Nah, baby, it's on my leg. Not going anywhere. Fucking permanento. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. See, this is why bullet points are This is why bullet points are important. Bullet points are important. But I was talking about T-ball earlier, and it's so funny because my son, the game before his last one, where I said like I saw that the game before his last one, he was supposed to be on third base, and that's where like parents were lined up along that fence and stuff. So like we're looking, I'm like, where the hell's where's Theo? And he's off to the side, just like dancing for the people on the fence, and it's like, and my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they're like, he's so different from his mom. Now, his mom is similar to me in the sense that like we're both introverted, but I do shit like this. I stream. I don't, I've been on stage for music. I've been on stage for comedy, like shit like that. Like, I'm not outgoing in the sense that I'm gonna talk to every person that walks by, but I'm outgoing in the sense that like I'll put myself out there constantly and not give a fuck. I literally fucking Lizzo at the Met Gala had this bullshit ass outfit on with like a big funnel on her head. And I reposted it and I was like, I've been wearing funnels on my head since 2017 because I have Funnel Head Fred, the greatest Russian rapper you'll ever hear. And I put that on. Like, that's very stupid. Why would you even put that up? Because I don't care. It made me laugh. Like, I don't do it to make other people laugh. And they were like, where the hell does he, well, where does Theo get like that outgoing personality, blah, blah, blah. Probably his DNA. Like, I'm very like, quiet around them. Very like, sometimes I'll crack like a joke here and there, but I'm not who you guys or other people that are close to me know me as, whereas like he's just gonna say the most outlandish thing. Even my buddy John, he was with his mom today, and me and him send mostly voice messages. He sends voice messages, I'll send him back. And his mom's like, "Who are you talking to?" She named another one of our friends. She was the old guy, the weirdo. And I was like, old weirdo? That kid's not old. He's just the old one because he's older than us. He's closer to 40 or 41, whatever he is. I'm 31. And then I was like, oh, she's talking about me. I'm the weird one. She's combining the two people. She goes, even Dave knows he's a weirdo. That guy's fucking weird. And I was like, yeah, it's me. And I like texted back. I was like, oh, that's definitely me she's talking about. And then it got to the end. He goes, that's Chris. So I sent the video. I was in the shower, did like a selfie video of me singing Lou Rawls, and I sent it to John, hoping that his mom heard it, but she didn't, unfortunately. So now I got to DM her and send it privately. It's a whole big thing. But no, it was just so funny because like that's a lot of people's parents. Even Jake's mom, she's known me since the 7th grade. He's fucking buffoonery this, buffoonery that. He's a fucking crazy person. But I'm a good, nice guy. That's at its core. That's what it is. And okay, dinner's done. I just got the text. We gotta hurry up. But it's so funny. So in like there was this kid Pat who lived across the street from me when I lived in Cohoes. So this had to be before high school and early middle school because he moved out of the area pretty quickly. So I would say sometime between 4th and 6th grades. This is a story I'll end it on. And I remember I went to his house. We were hanging out, and this is my first time going in his house. We've hung out outside all the time. We hung out at school all the time. This is my first time going to his house, even though he lived right across the street from me. And there was like 5 adults there. They were all everybody was just kind of hanging out. He has parents, their friends, whatever it might be. And they had like a karaoke machine. And they would, I think his uncle or dad or somebody must have been like an aspiring rapper, wanted to be a rapper. And they were like, oh, you like rap? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, rap for us. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? And again, this was, let me see. Sorry, just sending this real quick. Sorry. So this was probably sometime, like I said, between 4th and 6th grade. Now I'm well into rap at this point. It sounds insane to say, but I just mean like I like rap music. First album I ever got was Onyx's Back the Fuck Up on cassette, and I was like hooked from there, and I'd find like my dad's mixes and blah blah blah. But I remember he's like, rap for us. You like rap? And I was like, what the fuck am I gonna sing? And I got up there and I did 2 Live Crews. I did like the full opening verse to 2 Live Crews, Dirty Nursery Rhymes. I don't know why that's the song I went with, but if you know that song, it's so insane to picture a fucking. And now me, I was a super scrawny, like I was always a small kid, super scrawny white kid with this curly brown fucking hair. It was so fucking. I can't imagine somebody who looked like me just getting up there. But my mama and your mama was talking little shit. Because I asked, like, can I swear? Yeah, you can swear. Cool. Did the whole opening verse down to fucking Abraham Lincoln was a good old man. He hopped out the limo with his dick in his hands. And it's like, bro, where the fuck did you find this kid? And they're just dying laughing. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. So when I see like my son entertaining people and dancing along the fence and doing this, that, and the third, and they're like, where the hell does he get that from? And I'm like, well, probably me. I used to lie to people all the time. Like, I took a hip hop dance class up until like blah, blah, blah. You fucking didn't. It's like, yeah, I know, but it's funny to lie about. The stupidest shit, dude. Oh, it's so funny. That 2 Live Crew thing is insane. Because if you don't know that song, just look up 2 Live Crew Dirty Nursery Rhymes and listen just to the whole opening verse. And you're going to be like, why the fuck is this kid somewhere? I don't know what age grade 4 to like grade 6 is, but somewhere in that age range. Why is he up here singing this? And why does he know every word? It's the most insane fucking thing. I love it. Well, that's it for me. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of True the Rag. This was a fun one. I still rambled. We ramble. That's what we do, but we're working it out, dude. The rambles are never going to go away. Just know that right now. Topics might be a thing. Questions will be a thing. If you have any questions, send them to Chewing the Rag or go to chewingtherag.com. Discord is right there. There's a tab for asking questions. All social media is there as well. You can always DM me. Gmail's there as well. If you can email questions, it's all there. Chewinthirag.com. Grab some merch while you're there, and we'll see you next week.